Big crowd today.
I thought that, yeah, Brian would be here.
Good morning, and welcome to the Select Board meeting for Tuesday, April 30th. It's 9 a.m. Everybody wake up.
Oh, it's 6 a.m. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Would you please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Everybody.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Anybody here for open forum? Look at
Anyone here?
All right. We will close open forum and we will go directly to our action items, which is why we're having a meeting at a special time.
All right, action items. Discussion and vote on dispatcher contract and request for the creation of a sick bank for an employee.
Second.
All right, motion is made and seconded. Discussion?
Charlie, want to give us a little background?
Let me I'll do the latter first. So we have an employee on the dispatch staff who has run out sick leave. Person has a serious illness, needs to continue to leave. Given that we have a limited length of the dispatcher contract and that we expect to change over to the regional at the end of this calendar year, we didn't put in a sick bank provision in the actual contract. But I think given everything and given that we have a limited liability of having this type of thing, and the dispatchers are the rest of the staff are interested in contributing to the sick bank, I would strongly recommend the board approve this provision that's going to be outside of the contract. It will be a side letter in essence. For the dispatcher contract itself, as I mentioned, we're going to be moving to a regional dispatch at the end of this year. However, it took a while for all this to happen because in terms of the dispatcher contract itself, in that the unit formed and then basically I don't think there was any hostility or anything. There was not a lot of push from the union itself to get a contract signed with them. And so while the union was formed at least a couple of years ago, it's taken this long to get a contract done. The contract does bring the wage levels up to something closer to the regional, not regional as a whole, but wages for dispatchers in the region. We were paying a very low wage. If we had continued to have a dispatch system here in East Bridgewater, we would have raised it to this level at the very least. There are a couple other provisions in there concerning bonuses because we want to try and make sure that we retain as many dispatchers as possible during the next 8 months. I know Mike is having a challenge filling dispatch shifts, and we don't want to make that a worse problem for him. So I'm strongly recommending the contract as is. There really aren't a lot of special provisions otherwise in the contract. It's pretty regular.
Okay, thank you. Any questions?
None.
All right. All in favor of approving the contract and the creation of a sick bank, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Then we just have one other.
Yep. Make a request from resident Susan Wolf to decorate the town gazebo the month of May for the Children's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? I know she's done this in the past.
There is a question in here which they're asking if we could just make this automatic every year and so they don't have to go through this. I think for the sake of everything that goes on in the select board's office, stuff like that, the minute paperwork that has to be filed each year, I think should be the onus on the organization that's trying to do things rather than leave it to us to remember to do this every year.
I agree. And particularly because, we don't know what other things people might want to do in the month of May, and if we have an event that ends up getting scheduled and then this would interfere with that, we wouldn't want to just, do a rubber stamp on it. So, yeah, I think they should have to submit the paperwork each time. All right, any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Announcements?
No.
Other than
Yeah, just a little up for the select board schedule. We do have a meeting scheduled for May 6th.
We do?
We
at
do?
6 p.m. Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes, it did not make it on the agenda schedule, but we do have one scheduled, so. That's it for me.
All right. Charlie?
just we made some progress on the school building committee. Let's see, I'm a little out of time zone, obviously.
We have a meeting today.
we're meeting tonight. On Thursday, the selection committee met with 5 prospective owner project manager firms. Working with the MSBA and working on this size of a project, the town's obligated to hire an owner's project manager for the first step in this process. Once we've done that, we'll also hire an architect, but that won't be until later this summer. Because we interviewed 5 firms. We have a recommendation that will be brought back to the full committee tonight. My hope is that the full committee will approve the recommendation from the selection committee. Once that happens, in about 10 days, we'll file paperwork with the MSBA that's necessary in terms of the selection process for an OPM. Our hope is that we will then meet with them at the first week of June, having representatives from the OPM and also from the town to have the MSBA approve our selection. Once that happens, we can start the architect hiring process, which, like with the OPM, will take several months, unfortunately, to do. But I was very pleased with both the firms, but also how we conducted ourselves
Great.
during the interview process. We spent 45 minutes with each firm with a break, so it was a considerable time commitment by the members of the selection committee on Thursday to do this. But we also fairly rapidly came to a conclusion and a recommendation in terms of both the first firm, but also ranking the other firms in case we're not able to negotiate a contract with that first firm. But all those firms had considerable experience with the MSBA, with projects of this size. So I think it went very well in the sense that whatever firm we ended up picking was going to be a firm that was going to be able to do the work.
Great. Glad to hear it. Anything else?
No.
Okay. More discussions, David?
Nothing.
You're late.
I was pulled into a meeting.
Nothing? Peter?
Nope.
Anything?
That was quick.
It was. Did you have were you here for anything in
No, I was
particular, or
just
just?
talking about the
Okay, just,
report.
we voted to approve the dispatcher's contract,
Put
so,
the fires out.
yep, I understand. All right. In that case, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Have a good day, everybody.